All right. So, 3, 2, 1.
We are sex before! 1, 2, 3, 4!
The animation is kind of reminding me of Panty and Stocking.
Yeah. Um. So I'm guessing this is a remake of the movie.
Yeah, it's I don't know if they're going with because it just says anime. That doesn't necessarily like that. I would probably assume that means a full blown series, but it could be uh, it could be just another movie. But
Yeah. I think it's series because I googled it. It said series.
okay,
Hopefully, we don't get a massive copyright claim on this with the music.
yeah, that's the downside. Oh well, press on because they can have
Yes.
our pennies.
Yes.
This is very true to the original comic.
Oh, let me turn it down a little. Yeah.
But they are just the kind of the advantage of these simplistic character designs is that they can like really crank up the animation a bit.
Yeah. And for those of you who are wondering, the cast, this is the entire cast from the movie that's doing all the voices.
They brought back everybody.
Yes, even Brie Larson.
Well, she was
Forget
okay
she
in
was.
that movie, so we won't
Yeah,
hold that against her.
yeah. Well, it didn't require much acting on her part.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like, they got Chris Evans.
Yeah.
That's a get.
All right.
So we gotta wait for November to see how that turns out.
Yes.
So, as somebody who enjoyed the movie way more than the comic, I don't know, Daniel. You might be too optimistic here. If they're doing a series, they're probably like this is probably like the Brian Lee O'Malley like finally getting the adaptation of the original story.
Maybe. Yeah. Which I mean, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, and okay, the original comic wasn't awful. Like it just wasn't to my tastes, which is a different thing. There were some choice. So I would say the difference between the two. The movie is constructed more like a typical hero's journey type thing.
Mhm.
So there are moments in there where Scott gets to do heroic things and be clever that he didn't get in the comic.
Mhm.
But the comic is like an analysis of a slacker, loser, idiot, and why he's an awful person, and so is Ramona and everyone else.
Yeah.
Like I think Knives is one of the only people who comes off well in that one.
Yeah.
So there's like some things where it's nice that they got more space to explore in the comic, but there were things that just peed me off.
Yeah.
Also, people like to talk about how oh, such and such was the introduction of, or some such and such is what ruined comics because everyone was trying to be such and such. It's Scott Pilgrim. It's 100% Scott Pilgrim because every character has like a jokey introduction.
Yeah.
Like Knives Chow 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just it's one of those things where everybody loved it in the comic book circles, and they applied it to the Justice League, where it does not work.
Yeah.
So I call Patient Zero for the downfall of the mainstream comic book industry.
Yes, I would. Well, I haven't read the comic book, but for I mean, I trust and respect your opinion on it. So.
Well, and also you can extrapolate from the movie because the movie is true to the comic. It's just Scott comes off a bit better.
Yes, which is odd considering that he's played by Michael Cera.
Michael Cera is probably like the perfect casting for Scott Pilgrim. Maybe
Oh.
not much else, but for Scott Pilgrim, he's like a slacker loser. Like
Yeah,
that energy is perfect for him.
yeah, and yeah, between that and Arrested Development, yeah, yeah,
Yep. That might be why we haven't seen him in a lot of stuff for a while, because he kind of, yep, those are the two roles he was made for.
yeah, and nobody remembers him from Superbad. You
Oh my
notice?
God, he wasn't super bad.
Yeah, they remember Jonah Hill, but they don't remember him.
Well, that might be why Jonah Hill still has a career of some sort.
Yes,
Although I'm sure Michael Cera is doing something, but I couldn't tell you what.
he was in Barbie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then good on him.
yeah.
I'm guessing he was one of the Kens.
I think so. Yeah,
Statistically, probably likely.
yeah,
Decent
yeah,
guess, at least from what I understand of the movie.
yeah.
But yeah, I would call this eh, a firm. It'll be like a. It looks like this is going to be a very visual thing. So at least on that level, it'll be cool.
Yeah,
And who knows, if they do a realistic retelling of the comic, maybe I'll enjoy watching it more than reading it.